one. Welcome, Lila. Good evening, everyone. We're using a different platform, so it looks a little bit different, but it should sound the same. It is a beautiful day here in the great state of Illinois. I hope it's beautiful wherever the hell you are. And today we're just going to talk about some things. We're talking about, the Palestine movement and how it relates to general, Muslim relations with the rest of the non-Muslim world. Um, Basically, we thought, hey, it should probably be a podcast. So here we are, bada boom, bada bing. Uh, the actually in the blog, I do touch on this topic. There's a post. Islam has a Palestine problem. I think it's actually reposted on the JDL blog from the Fight Lane blog. So if you're on Substack, go check that out. But realistically, yeah, it's people nowadays that are Muslim are kind of expected by the Palestine movement, at least, to be supportive of the Palestine movement, whereas the Palestinian identity used to be kind of its own weird movement within the Arab world. Now they all love Palestine. They're all excuse me. Every time you see a Muslim or a Muslim business, there's something to do with Palestine. And I mean, that's essentially what we're talking about. Like, what is it fair to say, Muslims as a community are part of that? Shit, Or would we sound how they would say, like, from the opposite view, think of it, how when people from Palestine side say, well, that's anti-Semitic to assume that every Jew is a Zionist because it's like their view a bad thing. Now, how we view the Palestinianism as a bad thing, is it really integral to their culture to support it, and we're acting like we can separate it?
Well, when you're talking about on October 7th, I'm just going to use that as the example. People who are killing in the name of Allah, killing in the name of Islam, the shared religion.
Mm-hmm.
And their whole belief is that they're fulfilling this Islamic conquest prophecy. They're entitled to this land, this
caliphate, all that shit.
So if you're Muslim, logically you should support that. But it's a horrible thing to support. You're supporting monsters,
Right.
So I could understand why Hamas would turn and pro-Palestine people would turn to anyone who's Muslim and be like, yeah, you need to support us. Like, we're doing this in the name of our shared God. And if you don't support us, you're going against Allah.
Right. And they I hate to bring it up, but an Arab Muslim that's in the media is DJ Khaled, and they still haven't got him to say "Free Palestine" on his camera. Maybe he said it in private. Maybe we don't know what he gets down to in person in the private. Maybe he's gay. I don't know, but he's
another one.
When Judea and Samaria was renamed Capitola Palestina, most people died by being trampled. ate a gummy.
Okay, yeah, that's dark, man.
But hey, it's truth.
It's true, yeah.
They
Pivot or
Well,
tangent? I don't
the
know.
Romans pushed the walls in them. They're inside the temple. Romans pushed the walls down.
So everybody ran.
People,
Fuck those Romans.
wall fell on them, and they tried to run out. And one hole, ran over. Billions of people died, and then they go, "Oh, free Palestine! Oh, do you want that back? You want
Roman.
Romans
destruction.
pushing the walls down on the people that belong here? Come on, they're from Italy. They didn't belong in Israel. In truth, what the fuck are they doing in Jerusalem? I mean, really, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, I ate a
Unless-
gummy.
Unless they're gonna.
You clearly ate a gummy. It's like, if you guys didn't know
I thought
it,
they were regular gummies. Man.
they were shaped like Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. I thought
Can someone soak them in alcohol?
I was saying. She's learned how to do it pretty good.
So, I mean, like the Palestine people, right?
Well,
First of all,
Fuck them.
let's
Can we just establish that everyone here says fuck the Palestine people?
You guys ate gummies too.
There's that.
I wouldn't waste a gummy on them.
Let's establish that they're fucking all insane. And
Well, could you imagine the Irish saying they belong to Britain? That it's theirs, and they wouldn't live by it for rocks and shit. Fuck, crazy.
yeah,
I mean, it is crazy. You gotta be tough to do that. I mean, to think that that's your land, but it's not.
Do you
Read
have
a
to be
book.
tough, or do you
Stupid.
just
Well, you
have to
gotta-
be delusional?
Well, there's a difference between
Delusional.
being tough and being.
And rough.
No, there's like.
Tough or tough, like the outsiders. It's two different words.
Yeah, it's true.
Fuck Palestine, by the way. Back to that. And it's not Islamophobic to say it. It's not Islamophobic.
well, that's
to
where
say
we're
it.
getting back. Yeah, right.
No,
So,
it's
like,
our
are you
American
hating?
freedom.
Are you hating on a whole religion by saying fuck this stupid ass movement that says that Jews don't fucking own our own fucking homeland?
There's nothing wrong with saying that.
No.
If someone said to you that,
But are we insulting all the Muslims?
No.
Do they fucking all? You know?
hey, if you guys follow, I mean, how do we know what sect of Islam follows that the most? Because there
Shia.
are, okay, so there are Sunnis who
There are Sunnis who also
refuse
follow
to
it.
follow. No, yeah, but they're ones who refuse to follow.
She's the biggest
Weird
group.
deeds, and they don't.
Well,
do
that's the part I don't
terrorism.
understand. So, like,
So they're mystical.
my understanding is that the hadiths are supposed to be followed. These are their scholars that are like revered, and like
Some
these are the
schools take them more seriously than others because there's
Like Iran
Sunnis,
is
there's
different than Saudi Arabia.
Wahhabism, there's Shiites,
Like
there are
Iran's different from Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what it is.
Iran
So who
is-
are the ones that
Iran
think
is
it's
largely
okay
Shia.
to marry a 6-year-old like Muhammad did?
Oh,
That's all of them.
yeah.
Iran is
I don't
largely
think that's any of them. It's not that.
Iran is
that
largely
Islamophobic?
Shia.
Is it?
Well,
Iran is largely.
Well, in their
Shiites,
culture,
I
they
think.
don't see anything wrong with it because they're
Saudi
Bronze Age.
Arabia is Wahhabis or Sunnis. The problem is that a lot of the Hamas people are Sunnis as well, but they feel like the Sunnis are misrepresented by the elitists of the
It's
Saudis.
the same in any religion. It's the sects.
It comes down to poor versus rich, right? Like I was saying, the guys you see with the white flowing robes and stuff, I
They
don't
ain't
think
gonna
they
be
give a
bothered
shit
with
about
terrorism,
Palestine. A
exactly.
bunch of dirt ass motherfuckers that are fucking they're
Inbred.
cohorting with homosexuals, transgenders, colored hair, social justice women,
The
feminists,
Irish.
the Irish. I mean, literally, the dogs of the planet are the fucking friends of the Palestinians, and it's like, yeah, and we mean like the street dogs, not like the cute ones you let in your house. You know what I'm saying? So these fucking people, they don't appeal to that jet-setting, Salman, MBS and his family and the Saudis. Those guys, I mean, These are you're talking about like motherfuckers with gold toilets and stuff. They don't give a shit about Palestine.
Of course not.
But
it would have helped them.
Anybody like you can judge it. You know, you can judge it by you could literally sniff it out. You can fucking sniff it out. If you go in a place and there's a whole bunch of Arabs and it smells like fucking nice, clean, cologne, little, soap, fancy and shit, probably very little Palestine respect in that space. You go in there and it smells like ass and cheap cologne, sweaty balls, armpits. That's the smell of fucking Palestine. Okay?
I'm surprised you even threw any kind of cologne in there.
Well, they'd be trying to act like they're a little bit more, fancy and shit. So they have like some cheap ass cologne that like smells bad and shit. But I mean, you can tell the difference in smell. I mean, when you go on, the Arabs that smell good, they don't fucking support Palestine. Stinky motherfuckers support Palestine every time because they want to go around these dirt ass hippies. They want to go around crusty fucking punk rockers and Antifas. Motherfuckers that smell like fucking 8 fucking miles of Get Out.
Just get out of America, please. Get out.
Just get the fuck out.
A few days ago, and it's making me want to deport anyone who's a pro-Palestine.
Yeah, you are clearly if you're from here. You just go over there.
No, you shouldn't be here. You
just
hate America.
Get literally leave now tonight.
If you hate America, you should not be in America. Why would you want to be somewhere you hate? I never want to be somewhere that I'm hated. Ever.
I don't even want to go to a place that I don't feel like I'm pampered as a customer. Now you're going to tell the motherfuckers, oh, well, we're going to go around where niggas just be, oh, okay, I hate you. I want to kill you. What? Why are you here if you hate and want to kill everybody around you?
Sounds like a terrible way to live your life.
Yeah, and you know that nobody here wants to be killed, so they're going to have a negative reaction to you holding that stance and speaking it publicly. So why even carry it with us? Why don't you just go and skedaddle and take your little white ass over to fucking Gaza and see how much they love your social justice causes and your funky smells and all your things, we were tell a little bit of a real life story.
I was just gonna say, you gotta tell the story.
Yeah, so we were out at a store and we were in line, and I look behind Hannah and I were in line, and I look behind us, and there's a person with a bare midriff cut off Resistance for Palestine t-shirt. It's got like red and green letters and then like a green like high contrast silhouette image of like Hamas guys with guns like looking like they're in the back of a fucking Toyota or something,
Yeah, we're talking full terrorist.
Full terrorist shit, but they like fashionista
crop top
right?
We had to make it fashion.
And so I looked
H&M set.
Right, so I look at her and I said, "Look at this shirt behind you." I'm already giggling, And she turns around, and at first she's looking like, "What am I looking for?" And then she sees the shirt, and we both just bust out laughing. So this person, whom I had not even really noticed anything about them, but the ridiculous shirt and the fact that they had their belly button out, I'm like, you could not go around looking like that. And then
it was not
this person that was presented as some feminine without me really looking. Then they spoke. They said, "Are you having a nice day?" I said, "Oh shit, that's a dude." I thought it was a bitch. And I said, and so I started laughing again. So I was like, yeah, okay. Like, what? Like, are we having a nice day? That's what you thought of. So anyway,
there were so many things to laugh at. I mean, first I was just laughing at the shirt and how
like how bold
mentally ill you have to be to wear that shirt.
Right. You're clearly off your rocker. You're like, hey, check out terrorism, guys. Half shirt.
And it's bold. Like you were, it is really bold.
I mean, these motherfuckers had guns in the air in the picture. You know? So we go, check out. Just keep laughing our way out the door, whatever. This person apparently is, a little butthurt, a little triggered. So they come out, and we're, because you have to. There's like pay parking and then meters and all this shit. Whatever. We're getting in the car, putting the stuff away. We get into the car, and the person walks past, and then does this kind of like toddler stomp and fist grip, like, what's that cartoon? Is that Arthur, where he grabs his fist and he makes a fist?
Yeah, so Arthur.
Yeah, so he just
love that meme.
Just this just like the Arthur meme, just kind of like straightens their elbows and grasps their fist before turning around and with the chin up hard, and they look straight at us in the car. Okay. With no other self-awareness, and says, I will always be prettier than you. And we just burst out laughing again, of course, because that's hilarious. I'm thinking, this is your resistance for Palestine? You're gonna be prettier than us?
There are children starving in Gaza, and all she could say to the two Zionists is about our looks compared to his. I'm sorry, it was crazy. This is the planet we live on now.
I was out there, and so and then she person decides that little bit of testicular fortitude that they had crawled back up inside them, and they had to run inside the little Mexican grocery right quick and look out the window and see if we was gone. Like they weren't even going there to shop. I could clearly see you looking out from behind the Cebola sign. That's onions, by the way, for those who don't speak Spanish. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, what were we gonna do? We was gonna prove that you weren't prettier or something. It was like, I just felt like this is where we're at, where these people have fashionized terrorism, where the person thought that he it shit. They shit. But this person,
yes, the shit.
this person, this individual,
This is your athlete.
this individual, this individual thought that we had looked at them like, oh, we're laughing at you because we're trans. Like, it didn't even faze this motherfucker that he was wearing a shirt saying kill all the fucking Jews, and I'm over here with the big Jew sign on my neck. I'm wearing a shirt that says I am not a Jew with trembling knees. The guy behind the counter is like rushing to get us out. Oh shit, this is gonna pop off. She got a Palestine shirt. She got an Israel neck. They're gonna be fucking rolling in a second. Go on, have a nice day, ladies. He was like, go on. He was like, thank you, sir. Have a nice, whatever. But it was really like the person. That is how deep this shit went. That they thought that we gave a fuck about how they looked. I didn't ever care how you looked. I don't care how anybody looks. Most people are generally fucking idiots in the world. It doesn't matter.
That's so true.
Especially in New York. When you look around, people have sour faces. They're angry. They're dirty. I mean, who gives a fuck about people's faces at this point in history? This is not the Victorian era where we're trying to have some certain bone structure to breed or something.
Most people leave their house in their pajamas.
Yeah. Niggas be walking around in motherfucking sweatpants on the street. Like,
Tights.
what? Yeah. I saw a dude walking down the street in a dress. Just looking like a regular dude, but he had a dress on. Like, he didn't even put makeup or shave the beard or nothing, So people wear whatever, look crazy. But you wore something that said Resistance for Palestine, had pictures of Hamas with green headbands on, and you thought that I gave a fuck about your face.
The
This is how deep
furthest thing.
this retardation is. How you still are thinking that trans was the thing that I didn't give a damn that you were trans or whatever.
But
You
they
want to
did.
call yourself? Yeah, right. I mean, way to put your motherfucking insecurities on display.
Yep.
You
No.
thought that I thought that you weren't beautiful or something. I didn't look at your damn face. I looked at your ridiculous terrorist t-shirt, dumbass.
That person could have been Cindy Crawford, and I still would have looked at them like the piece of shit that they are for wearing a shirt that's basically calling for my death.
Right. You know, fuck you, fuck your shirt, fuck the
Dated
nigga who
reference.
printed it, fuck the motherfucker who sold it to you, fuck whoever shipped it and thought, hey, you put this in the package. You probably got some stupid ass stickers and little pins talking about kill all the Zionists, the only one get you a death to the IDF or some shit, which you put next to your motherfucking stupid ass Bobby Villain, the Bobby Villain, whatever.
When's the next punk festival in Palestine?
When's the next anything in Palestine?
That's what people don't realize.
When's the next
The
Palestine?
next
in
Rumble
Palestine?
Fest is happening right now. If you want to go see that, lots of Rumble on display.
But Palestine is not. You can't play music there. You can't do what he's saying. Those artists that are out there saying.
I will
Bad
always
thing.
be more beautiful or prettier than you. I'll always be prettier than you. Yeah, until they fucking slash your face in Gaza, until you get wrapped up with one of these motherfucking Hamas niggas that want to fucking tear your ass apart. How about that? You still gonna be pretty then? Or you can be pretty when your motherfucking face is peeled back and degloved from the fucking skull? Is that what you think is pretty? Huh? Is that gonna be pretty? Is it gonna be pretty when your fucking rectum is prolapsed from all these motherfuckers raping your corpse? Is that are you still gonna be prettier than me then?
Oh, come on.
Well, I mean, when you wear a shirt
Anyway,
with niggas that rape corpses and shit on your shirt, and you're acting like those
you
are the
read
cool
that?
guys,
did you see
I'm
that
gonna let you
report?
know
that
that
new
they're not
report
the
about
cool
that?
guys. I'm sorry, did I see what?
That new report about that, about all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
accounts of
all of
sexual
the-
violence on October 7th.
They don't even need. I saw the fucking videos, man. They want to write about it now. It's like, okay,
Yeah, but
I just
Just
now
said
numbers.
Serenity
Now
Lab
there's
didn't
numbers.
see
At
the
least 4
video.
gang rapes.
yeah. I mean,
Specific places that they're saying 100% these are places where
Just-
there were rapes.
it's just terrible. It's terrible, disgusting.
And that's what this shirt is representing.
right.
The resistance is the raping of the men and women on October 7th.
That's what. Yeah, and they act like, oh, that's
They're clueless to it.
propaganda.
They're clueless
That's
to it.
something, Netanyahu pulled out his motherfucking ass. You
They're
know?
obsessed with that, Yahoo.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Get over it.
every fucking pro-Palestine dude wants a fucking piece of his ass. Literally, do you hear him? I will fuck Netanyahu.
Yeah.
I will fuck Netanyahu.
And I tell them that's
I will
really
fuck him.
gay. I don't know what's
Like,
going on
why
there.
would I fuck you? You're gay. I am not gay. I will fuck Netanyahu. Well, what is Netanyahu? He's a dude, right? He's a male, adult human being. He is a grown dude. He's not a lady.
No. And there's no lady parts that you're going to be fucking on him. So maybe that means
Yeah, he's
that
not
it's
like
gay.
he's not.
No,
He's not like intersex. Or,
no.
he's not a trans man.
He has male parts.
'Cause you
And
be
there's
more
going to be only one
descriptive.
or 2 entrances there. I mean, and both are gay. Let me tell you, either entrance is gay.
Yeah, what
It
the
just
fuck?
is.
What the fuck?
Exactly.
The facts are just facts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. Facts.
We're gonna get
Facts.
banned off
Facts.
YouTube. That's why I'm glad we have it on
Facts.
Twitch too, because we'll probably get banned off of YouTube to the F words. But
Yeah.
Who used the F word?
We did.
You.
I
Yeah.
use the F word.
It-
Yeah,
lot.
a lot.
Yes.
It's just our age group.
Well, there's
We
a lot of
also
F
did
words
it
out
growing
here.
up.
That's a lot of fucking information.
I remember buying a book that was about the history of the F word. They sold it in Barnes and Noble right there, full display. Everybody used the F word. It's very in. Words are just words. We give meaning to them. You give the power to
You
the
can buy
word.
my book at Barnes and Noble.
Well, they're just sounds you make with your mouth and shapes you make on paper. You know,
Yes.
we are even the ones who decide that those shapes align with those sounds.
Exactly.
You know,
That's what I teach to the students.
so,
Too deep and we picked up the radio and it's all.
right.
Now, back to Islam, Muslims, and the
Yeah.
pro-Palestine movement.
Oh yeah, we kind of. The person that we saw, the trans, whatever, would not be accepted in any Muslim country, but especially not something extremist like a Hamas run Gaza. You know, some of these people are converting to Islam. You know, this Palestine movement. They're
That guy
having
went
mass
over there. That
conversions.
guy went over there and he'd be like, "You need to quit acting like a dog."
Yeah, like, are those real conversions?
According to Islam,
When
they
that guy said that to you,
But then they're not going to really be practicing and following true Islam. So what's that then?
they get to be beheaded by their favorite martyr stars.
well, how could there be a good side to everything you're talking?
There can't be. They're a bunch of terrible people with terrible cause, terrible morals, and they're
Here's my question. Do the majority or all people who follow Islam believe in this extreme viewpoint? Because ultimately, like, we know that in Judaism, our ultimate goal is that, we're going to rebuild the third temple.
right.
We are going to be in Jerusalem.
Right. We have
What is their ultimate goal? Because I'm pretty sure it involves the death of Jews.
Yeah. Well, it involves everybody becoming Islamic, or else, and
Which is the death of Jews.
Our viewpoint is that no, we don't convert. I mean, there's a small group of them that went off and started another thing, Christianity, but on the large, people who joined Christianity were not Jews. Most people who join other religions are not Jews. There are some Jews who convert away from Judaism, but they're mostly people who are not raised religious. They're people who are raised secular without Judaism. Very few people experience Judaism and then decide, oh, well, let me go do something else. Okay, it's very rare.
What would you think? Islam is a prison religion.
Yeah, in the United States, I would say that it is, not internationally though.
Does that have what you're talking
Keep the electric on. So I got to say about that, keep the motherfucking gates locked. With all these killers and converted to Islam. Most of them converted to Islam because they wanted a young ass wife, or they wanted to get good time and say, "Oh, I became religious," and I could get down with this one where it says, kill all my enemies and
There used to be a TV show
bitches gotta be
called
my
Oz.
slaves.
Well, this was based on that show. It's secret, violent.
Well,
Those are the real reasons.
yeah. Well, the problem is that nonviolent group among a group that has a large amount of extremely violent, and they don't do anything to stop
Yeah, it's a shit
the violent
percentage.
one. It doesn't. It's notwithstanding. It's meaningless. It's
Shit
like
percentage.
saying, well, not every knife in my drawer is sharp.
Yeah,
Well, okay, well, but
What
a lot
if
of
it
them are
is?
going to cut you, so don't just
Exactly.
run your hand through there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what about the fact that people who are not violent and Muslim are quietly supporting this movement or just vocally supporting it? So they might not be the violent ones, but they ultimately are proud
Yeah,
of what's happening.
yeah, armchair terrorists.
Well, it just seems like in a post-October 7th world, a lot of Muslims have revealed themselves to be that.
Yeah. And it's like some of us knew that, most of them were like
we
that
knew
anyway.
they were prickly all
Most of them under a certain age, I would say probably about under 60, are basically pro-terrorist. You'll run into Muslims that are like real old, that are real cool and chill and stuff before this became the hot issue.
You gotta remember Yasser Arafat, who was like their only hero. His whole thing was making money out of the Palestinians. And he went there and said, "Check it out, follow what
He was
I
an
do.
Egyptian.
I could help Jews, and we'll get paid." And their whole clique revolves around art, people, and weird stuff that's followed what we have today. But this new generation has seen so much death, like soldiers.
The people that were around before Arafat are essentially the people who I'm talking about, who are going to be your cool Muslims that are going to be friendly. I got friends that are Jews in the neighborhood and stuff like that. Under that, though, they call him Abu Ammar, the father of the nation. First of all, how is it your land if the father of the nation was around in the 1960s? But okay.
That's because it's a prison religion.
Because they don't want to.
They're saying that's what they want to say.
Because they don't call him Abu Ammar when they talk to you.
I'm saying prison religion term again. That they're saying what they're saying. Like Palestine's not. Of
course not.
So they're saying what they're saying.
Yeah.
That's the way they're treated.
They're
not. They refuse. That's what those brotherhoods in prison. They have to fight against them because Muslims that do fight, they come on. Their pastime is basically going after Smurfs. That's how I looked at it growing up. Jews are like Smurfs, and Muslims are like Gargamel.
That's what they want.
They want to go wild in the forest, eat the ones that are being peaceful and shit, minding their own business, partying and praying, doing blue and white, little Smurfs in the forest, having fun and stuff, like being their own little thing. They got the one with the beard. They're all following.
One female Smurf.
Because she's their sister.
Because they don't
Where's the
You just made that.
I did not make that up. That's their sister.
No, I think they were cousins. But they don't have any babies, though.
Yeah.
There's no baby Smurf.
How are they going to reproduce?
Yes, there is.
Exactly.
Yeah, look him up. There's a baby Smurf.
So where are the
baby Smurfs come
Where are the
from?
mothers?
The store.
Where do baby Smurfs
I
come
love
from?
the Smurfs.
That's where the Smurfs come
I
from.
feel like this is not the topic for this podcast, but we do need to figure out where baby Smurfs come from when we get back to that adventure.
And if we can watch the Snorks somewhere. You gotta figure that out.
There ain't no jihadis sitting around talking about store.
No, right. They have no sense of humor.
No, not at all.
They have no whimsy. They have
clarity.
A life without whimsy is not a life for me.
Right. That's like when I'm.
Well, they consider these things Western. That's why they're against them. But it's imperialist and Western of you to say that whimsy can be a part of their life. Mirth is not king with them. They don't agree with the Mason philosophy of laughing is the king. Or whatever.
Well, I mean, joy is a mitzvah. So they hate Jewish joy. That's when I was in Peoria and I was doing the speech against the anti-Israel ballots they were trying to put forth. I told everybody, everybody's in there like nervous. I said, smile.
Increase your joy.
Smile. I said, especially when you look at them.
When you see the enemy, increase your joy,
if you got a rude smile, put it on right now. They hate to see you a happy Jew. They hate to see you smiling. That's why
also God will bless you at that moment, and your fear will turn to joy.
Right.
You feel it. You'll be like, this is incredible. I feel it. I've always known to be something scary and rude to be changed. So you have to
they don't want to see you happy. So the easiest way to
not until they are, and let's envision for a minute. What's their happiness, right? Okay, so suddenly overnight we hear Hamas invaded and killed Netanyahu. Give him that. Get me. What are they going to take over the Hasidic neighborhoods next?
What are they going to do?
Like, what are they going to do? Like, how would you do that? How would the Jews do that? Think about it. It's the most densely packed Jerusalem of people with weapons and guns and extremists, non-extremists, Muslims, Jews.
let's get.
It's like one of the most fortified places in the world. Who's going to go there and
Never
take
mind.
it over?
Never mind.
These are delusional people who
Yes,
think they
they
can
are.
do anything.
Never mind. 100 men versus a gorilla. Let's talk about
And who would say
Israel versus Hamas and the amount of it. So the so-called Palestinians, while they do have a lot of them, there's still not as many of them as there are Israelis. So if it came down to hand-to-hand, man-to-man, mano a mano, every man, every woman fight for their lives, the Israelis would win just on sheer numbers. Okay? Now, these other motherfuckers might have backup. They might have Iranians coming in. Okay, so start we talking about different numbers. You know,
Lebanese,
right? Other
all
Hezbollah.
countries that have extremist stuff.
Now Hezbollah. Let's add Hezbollah into it. Still not okay, but
these are most of these places are places where you're talking about where these areas where these extremists want to cover. These areas where it's hard to live, it's free to live. So it's a bunch of broke ass motherfuckers.
Don't forget that a religious Jew
go to war.
knows the land of Israel by memory from the Bible.
Daniel Pearl,
and he knows the map.
No.
Do you know Daniel Pearl?
Daniel Pearl was a Jewish American man who was trying to bring water to Africa.
Killed him.
And he was kidnapped and killed by Islamic extremists on video. And his last words were, "My mother is a Jew, my father is a Jew," and before they slit his throat, he said, "I am a Jew." That was his last words. So that's what Daniel Pearl. He was, just trying to bring some water, and apparently Islamic motherfuckers don't like that shit, so don't bring water to the Abidin.
He kicked off everything that happened around 9/11. Daniel Pearl. That was the Desert Storm, 9/11. That happened. Our American troops were so fucking mad. That was the final straw. Watch them butcher a Jew like that.
An American.
Most Americans. Just like when they kidnapped our guys in Iraq. Remember Iraq War when they used to kidnap the guys? They'd show them on TV, their faces were all beat up and shit. Oh, American blood boiled. You should have seen it in the South. They have posters outside.
Well, yeah, now we have Qatari money in our media than American money.
Everybody's recognizing that, though. There's a whole troll farm that constantly comments about Qatari money. So I'm pretty sure that Sam Hyde is people, but everybody's making it clear that like all these people are paid by Qatar.
Yeah.
You know who got paid by recently was Theo Von.
Right.
Picture him.
Yeah.
If I gotta go anywhere,
I can't believe
I gotta
so
change
dumb.
my fucking clothes for you. Then we're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, I don't know what.
I don't know what
who
you
the
think
fuck
we're
you
doing.
thought you
What
were?
did he put on?
He got to wear the Arab dress.
You know, the long.
Look it up. Theo Von visits Qatar. You'll be like, I kind of did. I liked him and didn't like him before, but he's not really.
If you believe for me to respect your culture, I have to change myself, then your culture doesn't respect me. Fuck your culture.
They don't believe like America. They want a
Well, anyone who's asking you to change anything about yourself is not respecting you, just even on an individual personal level. And that should go in anything.
Look, I can understand if you say, like, specifically, okay, we're coming into a house of worship, please don't have your titties out or something like that, but we're talking about your whole fucking country to visit you.
Titties for God? That's okay.
Right. But, you can't just wear your regular Western clothes around these people because it's so lowly. It's so they disrespect it so much. They're so above that. Fuck you. Fuck you. You think you're above Americans? You think you're above Jews? Fuck you. Okay? What we never fucking did personally anything to you. Like these people, they have something up their ass about something they don't even know anything about. Same thing with I will always be prettier than you. They thought it was because we thought they were ugly, not because the message on their clothing was ugly. So people make stupid assumptions and they're wrapped up in their fucking worlds, and this is, I guess, where we end up.
Victim mentality, and it's complete projection.
Yeah,
That's the whole movement is based on projection.
yeah. They think
It's also based on
they're
money
one of the
laundering.
us.
Because you have to think,
Yes, money laundering.
Israel keeps the lights on in Gaza. That's a big problem. Why are we doing that?
Because Jews are suckers.
No, as long as
That
we've
is
made,
horrific. That
we've
they're
made
doing that.
concessions with the enemy since this started.
Since before they started.
Okay,
You
no,
know?
since the 7-Day War,
Mhm.
we've made concessions constantly, month after year after year. Oh, Sweden said, "Oh, this year our festival decided you're too close to the border," and they're like, everyone goes, "Oh, let's get a hold of Netanyahu." Netanyahu gets on the phone and says, "You got to move the fucking settlers back. They're too close. They're pissing off the international community."
5,000
he's like,
meatballs will go uneaten
I
without.
don't know what to do. He said, "I don't know what to do. They don't listen to nobody. They're bad boys."
Yeah.
And they are. They're a bunch of bad boys on the
They're
border.
bad boys,
Yeah.
bad boys, bad boys.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
They be slapping Arabs in the face and shit. Get out of our area. They believe Judea and Samaria belongs to them.
You
They
talking about
have
Hilltop Youth?
Hilltop Youth share maps to their members that have Judea and Samaria. So this is our land. Fuck what they think. All. And
It's
that's
what Hashem has
It
agreed,
says it in
really.
the
takes a
book.
tough. That takes
It
a
doesn't
tough.
say in any fucking other book anywhere except for some modern political bullshit that shit is supposed to belong to anybody else. Even in the Quran, who are we? Banu Israel. We're the motherfucking children of Israel. Where's the land of Eretz Israel? Jerusalem belongs to Banu Israel in the Quran. So I don't even know what you think that you're coming up with. What is your reference point? Some dickhead from the 60s with some fucking Poindexter glasses that decided to write some theory from college? Fuck him. He's probably a fucking drug addict by now, whoever wrote this book.
The idea that Israel's colonial and it's the size of New
A colony
Jersey.
of what?
No, the size of New Jersey. Where are they going
the
from
parent
there?
country of Israel?
Where are they going
Britain?
from? No, literally, look how hard
Germany?
they have holding the place the size of New Jersey. They have to have an iron dome. They have to have a military. Imagine if Jersey had to have a military to hold off the rest of America. Think about it.
What's
How
even
fucked up that would
crazier
be.
is how they'll now even use the Iron Dome as a point. Well, Israel's the Iron Dome, so they're stronger, and it's a defense. It's
Literally, it doesn't attack you, dumbass. So
Yeah, but it's a
it's
defense.
dome.
What other army? When I first met her, she said she's wearing a shirt, I believe, a tank top. And I said, what the hell is that? You got a military tank top? She said, it's IDF. I said, what is that? She said, it's the Israel Defense Force. And the first thing came to my mind, I said, according to tactics, there's no army that's ever won a war on defense. According to that sort of thinking, there's just no army that's ever won that war.
Yeah,
And,
well,
and when
Israel
you think
is
about it, Israel still is
God
on
with us
defense.
only.
It's not IOF. We don't invade Finland, who talk shit about us. We don't go after France,
Right.
who talk shit about us.
I mean,
We're not
if
IOF
Israel
and
was really
idea.
IOF, there'd be no
Only-
Ireland.
Exactly. We know
You've been
Ireland.
the bitch of the motherfucking English. We kicked the British's asses.
Send the
So
fucking
we'll
rocket
be
over
nothing.
their
You will be
ass.
pulverized. You will be green dust. All right?
Literally.
You would be
They're
green
not
fucking
because
dust.
we follow the Torah.
You're
Those are
not,
God's
because we're not
enemies.
expansionists. We are not colonialists.
no imperialism.
We're not.
They're so cooked that
imperialists.
they gave away the Temple Mount to the Arabs. That's how cooked they are.
Well, no Jewish land should ever be given away.
Well,
To
they did
anybody.
that.
It
That-
never should have, and especially now post October 7th, it should be
And people
still
a
think
long
that-
forgotten dream.
You still got Jews. I saw just yesterday talking about two-state solution in somebody's fucking comments. Oh, I remember what it was. Here's another thing. Like I was recently talking about how
One state
our
only.
community always fawns over these people who just don't hate Jews. So there's this food guy that reviews food. He reviewed some Jewish food and didn't say nothing about genocide. So all of a sudden, everybody's got to kiss this nigga's ass and be like, "Oh, he's the best guy ever. We love you. Come to our Jewish place." And I said, this is not going to end up well. This is not going to be, you're putting this guy in the middle. He knows nothing about politics. He's just a regular nice guy
He likes
trying
some
to
Jewish bakery items.
just trying to eat some food and review it on the internet. He has literally no involvement in politics. So what do I see today? And as a Jew has decided that as a Jew, I would love if you would support this Palestinian restaurant. Ugh. Of course, as a Jew. No, as a let me guarantee you, it's one of these that their mother's not Jewish or they just converted through JVP.
No real Jew is supporting
or
Palestine.
else you're suicidal. You're either lying about being a Jew or else you're suicidal. One of the two, because
or you're really fucking sheltered and white. That's a thing too.
Where they identify as
really
white,
sheltered and white. They live in a little bubble. That's just a little segment of their world we're seeing. They think that's real.
It's
just
insane.
Like
as a Jew, I think you should showcase this Palestinian restaurant. Why don't you just call it an Arabic restaurant? Why don't you just call it the motherfucking name of the joint?
Yeah,
but now it's a Palestinian restaurant, and then you've got 10,000 fucking.
So does that mean it doesn't exist, right?
Jews in the comments going,
it's a restaurant that don't exist.
This. Maybe they'll bring some unity through this. How is he bringing unity by fucking showcasing that there's such a thing as a Palestinian? You fucking morons. You fucked it.
Because the story is lost to them. How many Jews lost their lives to create the name?
There's no two states.
That's the story. Yeah, no, there's no two states ever. No, ever,
it's one or the other. Win or lose. Us versus them. There is not going to be no I'm living side by side with the motherfucking. What, do we do that?
We've been living next to them, and October 7th happened.
That's exactly.
The people living in that
work.
No.
Yeah.
They thought that peace was going to happen.
These are people who used to drive people from Gaza to the hospital in fucking Israel, and they got raped, killed, burned, and their corpses fucked. So what are you going to do next time? Now they have a state and an army, and who is it? Well, you better fucking, let's just pad the whole outside of Israel since you decided you wanted two states. Okay, well, all of you live on the border. Every motherfucker that said he wanted two states, you go live right next door to those sons of bitches. You better be able to smell their fucking armpits from your house, okay? You better fucking sit there and hear when the Hamas nigga takes a piss, because I don't want to hear shit from you unless you're willing to do that, okay? Put your own ass on the line, and then you can be the motherfucking human shields. And since you love niggas that want human shields, become one. Become one. Go there, and you can be the motherfucker that gets killed, raped, fucked, burnt next time. How about that? Fuck you.
Ran over.
Ran over.
I mean,
yeah, I fucking can't believe these people. It's like, oh, you have two states. Are you fucking insane?
Okay, so debate this. What if they change their name to Gaza?
No.
What if they change their name to Jordanian and get the fuck out?
These people want all of our land. They're never going to be content just with Gaza.
Right.
And why would we give them a state? It's like an analogy. You give your enemy a seat at the table? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life. You don't let them even.
It's like giving them your a space in your bed.
I don't think that's Jewish.
No.
I think it's
suicide is forbidden.
It's almost wrong.
Fucking
giving them a seat at your table. I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, but
I ain't a ghost.
You mustn't forget about that comment.
I would have remembered.
But I mean, really, if you think you need a two-state solution, then you move your ass to that edge of the border between them two states. Go live there. As a matter of fact, don't wait for the state. Move there now. See how it goes.
Yeah, bring Hannibal Lecter. He could be your neighbor on the other side.
Yeah, you know.
Well, you know what? It's like Jews got burned up and fucked up
You better
in
wear a
World War II.
chastity belt.
then you guys kept fighting back, and then everyone kept fighting back, and then all the Jews started fighting back, basically, except for the ones who were not fighting back. But since World War II, I mean,
these people in America, they don't have any skin in the game, and they don't think about them people who have to actually fight it, over there. They don't think about it. And then you get even the liberals over there who are like, well, but baby, we don't want to be extreme because it'll piss off the Arabs. Have you looked at the Arabs? They're pissed off all the time already. You didn't have to do anything. They're just naturally pissed off.
well, blood for blood is that what they're thinking? Because there's been bloodshed, so they're not going to come back from it. And yeah, exactly.
And
Someone
so now
could be
it's
mad at
win
you.
or lose.
Someone could be mad at you for something your friend did. You
Yeah,
don't even know.
exactly. Now it's win or lose. Our side versus their side.
Yeah.
There's no like, well, we
Because when
let's just shake hands. Shake the mother. I'm not shaking your bloody fucking hand that you left a print of my brother's blood on the window.
see, these stories are lost to people too because there's so many of them. Like the bloody handprint story.
Yeah, I
Why
mean
they have that?
these
bloody handprint.
motherfuckers were
I know that story.
a red hand with the celebrities.
Stupid idiots ended up in the wrong part of the city at night. Got kidnapped and killed. And that guy,
Horrific.
when he was all happy in the crowd,
He's
look
like,
at my
I got huge
hands,
blood
they're
on my
bloody.
hands. Wow, those guys are the cool guys,
Yeah,
and that's fashionable
yeah,
to
right.
wear
In
that
France,
shit.
in France, somebody's
I mean, can you
fashion,
just,
bloody
how
hands.
embarrassing. They don't even really understand what they're wearing.
No, they don't.
Read
They
about
think
it.
that you're lying. They think you're
They
making
think
it
what
up.
you're saying is
is
propaganda,
propaganda.
because your side has been vilified.
Mhm.
That's how this whole thing is.
I also heard someone using the phrase, it's wartime propaganda, and that just like can make a blanket. No, we can't believe anything because it's just everything's wartime propaganda.
Nothing ever happened.
No facts, nothing's facts. Even when there's video,
Never.
even when a
That
person
guy-
says a quote, nope.
He's a joy to be around. Nothing ever happened ever. You know. Remember when we went to fishing? No, I don't remember. Nothing happened. Not this time. You're
No.
wrong.
No, not this time.
Not this time. Yeah. Sorry.
Speaking in memes.
How many transgenders you think live in Gaza?
I think
Well, I do think that there's like a lot of like sexual perversion that might be going on over there secretly. So who knows? I don't know.
No, but
personally, I've never
now-
been there. I'd like to go drive
He's living
around
his
and see what it was like.
No, not that. Come on. They thems?
Yeah.
No. They throw them off buildings. Everybody knows that.
They throw them off buildings.
Queers for Palestine is chickens for KFC. It's just basic facts. There's news story after news story of gays being dragged by cars. thrown
Remember
off
that
buildings.
Italian guy that went there? He's like, I'm gonna help Palestine. We don't even know all the details. They probably raped his corpse too. Fucking
Honestly,
necrophiliac.
They probably didn't even do as much as what they did to our
It's like a
people.
fucking
in the
horror
70s.
movie, and you're acting like, let me be in it. But you want to be the victim? You don't even want to like be a monster or something. You just want to be the motherfucker who gets disgustingly
It's
slaughtered.
cool and dark when you think about it. It's
Yeah,
got,
because
like, these
everybody's
overtones that
cool and
everybody
extreme
likes.
now.
Yeah.
Black metal and gangster mumble rap on fentanyl and shit. It all makes sense. Let's all fucking self-destruct and worship Palestine and fucking Satan and butt sex and kill your babies and fucking.
The Free Palestine movement is almost idolatry. It's a cult, and they're worshiping this
cult.
fake state.
They're glorifying these fucking so-called
that would
martyrs.
replace the secular one that already sucks and doesn't give us a religious one. You'd want to replace it with one that's even worse. Thanks, yeah.
First off, why would people even support a cause where they believe if they die as a martyr, they're going to have 72 virgins up in heaven? As a woman, I find this outrageous. This is an idea to support?
I don't know why you would think you're gonna have.
If
a
you're
bunch of
fucking
babies in
crazy, yeah. It's for crazy people.
I don't know why
You're
any woman
mentally
would
ill.
support this.
Mentally ill.
Where's the reward for the woman?
She's gets 72 niggas a day ever fucking don't know what the fuck they're doing. She gets 72 teaching moments.
That sounds horrible. Really? You know what? They are punishing themselves.
Seriously though, like what is she fucking
I
even?
love your take on it.
I really don't know what a female martyr. I think they kill themselves out of one less woman on the world. You know, they just like they self-loathe. They internalize the fucking misogyny to the point that they're like, my husband knows that women are dirt. And I will please Allah if I will blow up one more dirt woman. I don't know.
Oh my god.
That made it sound racist, dirt woman.
But imagine a religion where,
But that's
where
what
women are
they
treated like
treat
that.
women like dirt, actually. I mean, it's, you know,
Imagine if you will, a world that calls you racist for opposing it.
you can't tell the difference between Muslims that are pro-Palestine and Muslims that don't care about Palestine by the smell. You can't. Clean
All right,
motherfuckers smell
I'll
real
take your
good.
fucking word
They
for
don't
it. I ain't
support
going up
Palestine.
close to them.
Stinky motherfuckers and look dirty and sweaty and like, ugh, this guy looks like he might blow some shit up any moment, or else like he's been like looking at like fucking dirty movies or something, or else just creeping through the gutter. He supports Palestine. He loves Palestine. He thinks the martyrs are great. He's a fucking 12er. He fucking wants that whole fucking whole shebang, boom, the moon house, all that.
I mean, I will say I haven't been to a counter protest in a while, but I've never seen an attractive, and granted, there's a lot of masks, but I've never seen an attractive, nice smelling anybody there, Muslim or anyone.
Exactly.
A lot of really gross, almost homeless looking drug addict-y kind of people, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
Rust stank niggas support Palestine. If you take once you take a bath, you probably wash off Palestine. You know, you're like, oh, it's probably, you know, it might be an infection. It's probably like some you know, some kind of fucking.
some of them look like they have
didn't
infections.
wash, so they got some pustules, and it made them a little bit fucked up in the head. You know, a lot of infections have mental infections too, like syphilis. You know, for
Got some
example,
pustules.
you might have went to their brain. It might be a fucking maybe
Pustulized.
Palestine is an STD, and that's why so many motherfuckers got it because it came all the way down from Rome. Oh, we need to fucking do some blood testing. If you know about this type of science, contact us. I didn't know what type of science this is. I
What type of
I don't know what
science is
direction
that?
this is led in.
What the fuck? Weird. I said weird.
What is it? Oh, baby, both.
Give me the keys.
Give me the keys. So,
Give me the keys. What's it?
It's from science.
Oh.
Here's in the back of the
Oh,
car.
God damn it, I forgot.
all right, okay. So anyway, how long have we been talking on here? It's almost an hour, so it's nearly time to wrap up the show. But so, what have we learned today?
If you want to be on the show,
Support for
if it's,
Palestine might be an STD transmitted through poor hygiene.
in vomitoriums. They
Right.
also had sexatoriums next to the vomitorium.
Yeah, aren't they disgusting? Romans, they're so disgusting.
Bathhouse.
And they created Palestine, and all their disgusting behaviors are still the people who do them support Palestine. God, Romans probably smelled horrible. They're like puking on stuff.
Oh,
and then,
definitely.
And then just drink some more wine and go fucking jump in an orgy.
Ew.
Oh, come on, it's all
Ooh. Well, all that kind of medieval sex
Yeah.
must have been really
It's
smelly.
yeah, it's
I
people
don't
are
know how they do
disgusting,
it.
you know, and they're like, oh, Jews wash their hands and hop in the bath after they have, oh, everything like, because we use the mikvah and they don't, so they just, I mean, they hate us because they ain't us. We smell good, they smell bad, they're jealous, you know.
There's a lot.
Jews
They're
usually
drinking a
smell
lot of
like
haterade.
Jews usually smell like some sort of pleasant flowers mixed with, faint odor of marijuana sometimes.
I always smell lovely.
Right. Palestine people stink. As a matter of fact, the person in the store didn't smell the best. And that's why I initially
That person
turned
looked
around.
dirty.
Hold on. Not only did they look dirty, but I turned around because I smelled the person. You should not be able to smell if there's someone behind you, right?
Luckily, I was
So I
congested.
turned around, and that's why I saw the shirt in the first place because of the funk. If you wasn't funky, I wouldn't have seen your funky ass shirt. That's all I'm just saying. All right. So thank you for joining us for this live fun afternoon podcast using our new restream, which we probably will be using more frequently. Next time we'll have some better visuals once we work out the odds and ends of this platform. Don't forget JDL USA. You can apply to join again. So please go and do so if you've got the stuff or if you think you do anyway. You can apply at thejdl.us.